Hi aviation lovers, my name is Irina, you're on the GStream Ginger channel where we explore the skies, share aviation insights and dive deep into the reality of cabin crew life. Today we're talking about British Airways, one of the most iconic airline in the world, and we will discuss its perks, challenges and what it takes to join its cabin crew team. Either you want to apply or you're just curious about cabin crew life in general, this video is for you. So if you're ready, fasten your seatbelt, because we are flying right into it. If you are new here, I'm a former flight attendant with 5 years of experience in the industry, and in this channel I love to share insider stories and tips. Today's video is part of the series where I explore what it is to work as a flight attendant for one of the most popular airlines, and today we're gonna discuss British Airways, literally one of the oldest and most iconic airline in the world. British Airways, established in 1974, is the United Kingdom's flag carrier and one of the world's leading airlines. Headquartered in London, British Airways operates from its primary hub at Heathrow Airport. It serves over 200 destinations in 75 countries, making it one of the most global carriers in the aviation industry. With a legacy of innovation and excellence, British Airways is known for setting standards in air travel. From one of the first airlines to offer fully flat bed in business class to introducing premium cabins that blend comfort with luxury. British Airways is also a founding member of the One World Alliance, connecting passengers to a network of partner airlines worldwide. It continues to be a symbol of British aviation, offering world-class service with a British touch. It's obvious that British Airways is one of the leading airlines in the world, especially European airlines, but what it really takes to become a British Airways flight attendant? We're gonna discuss first the benefits and challenges of this job, and then if you're still interested, I'm gonna tell you the requirements to apply for this position, so you can try your luck. British Airways has quite competitive salaries if we're gonna compare it to other European airlines. If we will compare it to Middle East airlines with all those benefits like free accommodation and tax-free salary, that's not the case. It's to compare to the European airlines. When you join the airlines, your annual salary will rise from 28 to 34,000 pounds per year, depends on the bonuses, where you're flying, how many flight hours you have, because flight attendant salary consists of a few parts, which is like basic salary, flight hours and layovers, allowances. And to my favorite part of any airlines, tickets, discounted tickets, and British Airways is no exception. Actually, they have quite nice discounts, not only to yourself as a part of the team, but also for your family members and friends. And British Airways is part of the One World Alliance, so they have a lot of airlines you could take a discount with, so that's definitely a huge advantage of this job and this airline. They also have a pension scheme. Employees' contributions start with 2% and can increase up to 7%. British Airways cabin crew are protected by union, which means that you can fight for your right to increase your salary, for a better condition of your employment, because for example, if we're gonna compare it to Emirates, Etihad or Fly Dubai, they are not protected by the unions because unions are actually prohibited by the government of not Middle East, but United Arab Emirates. So that's actually a huge advantage to have a union who can at least fight for your rights. Because as an Emirates flight attendant, for example, you cannot. Whatever a company say, you need to follow. There is also some flexibilities and life-work balance. When roster is announced, you can swap your duties with your colleague, and before that, you can request to fly for a specific destination or days off. So I cannot say that you have a control over your schedule, but at least you can ask for it. Usually on other airlines you can also request for them, but it really depends how big airlines is, you get it or not. With British Airways, seniority matters, so the more senior you are, the higher chances for you to get better roster with everything you asked. So the longer you stay with the company, the better your roster. There are also some transportation perks of being British Airways flight attendant. For example, for public transport, you can also park free of charge at Heathrow Airport, and you have 75% discount ticket for Heathrow Express train tickets. Of course, British Airways is going to provide you with life insurance, and they give you a career growth opportunity. Basically, as I said, seniority matters. You can grow as a flight attendant and to reach like a high level of the seniority to get all the flights you want and quite competitive salary, because as many years you're staying with a company, the better your salary. But also there are quite options to move to another part of the British Airways, because when you're already in the company, it's easier to move to the even management, like a ground job, because you're already in the company. They do have sometimes these internal positions. And of course, as a flight attendant, you're gonna have discounts not only for the airlines, but also for hotels which cooperate with British Airways. So they're way easier to travel as a flight attendant because you have many discounts than as a regular passenger. While British Airways offer many perks, it also comes with its own set of challenges. First of all, high cost of living in London. British Airways crew are primarily based in London, the city well known for a high cost of living, so transportation and renting of your apartment could take a significant part of your salary, especially as a newly hired crew. Also, because its main operational hub, cabin crew are required to leave within 90 minutes to reach the Heathrow Airport, and it could be restrictions for many candidates. Seniority system is advantage and disadvantage of this job, because when you're a senior cabin crew, you get all the perks of this job, obviously, but when you're a newly hired crew, you're at the bottom of the list. So you are the last person to get everything you want, either it's destination, assigned leave, or even the salary. The salary of senior crew member who served like 15 years is way higher than like a junior crew. Demanding schedule could be a disadvantage, but it's not only about the British Airways but all airlines in general, because you're gonna be flying the night shift, the ultra long flight, jet lags. It's gonna exhaust your body physically and mentally for sure, but that's the reality of this job. And the main challenge is restricted availability. What I'm saying is only people who have a right to live and work in the UK can apply to become a flight attendant of a British Airways. So if you're living in the UK, you have UK passport, obviously you can apply, but if you're from other countries, you should have a legal right to live and work in the UK. After Brexit, not every European can apply, and of course, if you're from other countries, there are many restrictions. So that's a disadvantage for many international applicants. And as I already started with the requirements of becoming a British Airways flight attendant, we need to cover them all. And here on the screen, you can see a basic requirements of becoming a British Airways flight attendant. They are quite similar to other airlines, but there are different. For example, the major one is that you should have unrestricted right to live and work in the UK, and you should be at least 18 years old to apply for this position, because some other airlines, they actually required you to be at least 21 years old, but British Airways is required you to be at least 18 years old to apply. And that was all about British Airways. Please don't forget to write in a comment what do you think about these airlines. Have you ever thought about applying to be a British Airways cabin crew? And if you ever worked for it, I would be curious to hear your opinion. As always, if you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, because it gives me motivation to do more of such videos, and I believe I see you soon. Bye!